Roundtable with me, Adam, Nathan, Sam, and Danny. So the first thing we're going to do for you today to get you ready for the draft is discuss an article that Peter King wrote about how Robert Griffin and his ability to run increases his ability to get injured, and so his draft value will decrease because of that. So what do you guys think about this?
He's not gonna get injured because
Why not?
I mean, he's not as small as Michael Vick was when he kept on getting injured, but I think he'll be able to outrun most of the players because of his speed, and his arm makes him a lot better than his arm is a lot better than Cam Newton's, and Cam Newton went #1 in last year's draft.
Your draft stock can't go down if someone traded up to pick you, so it doesn't really matter because he's going to get picked second and nothing's going to hurt that because Washington traded up to get him. I also completely agree with what Sam said over there. What do you think about that, Nathan?
Well, okay, not only Michael Vick got injured last year, but Tim Tebow had a concussion as well. So that's 2 out of the 3 running quarterbacks. That's a pretty high percentage of them that's getting injured. 2 out of 3. And Cam Newton is really big. He's almost like a wide receiver out there.
And Michael Vick's barely 6 foot, and Tebow he's not a great thrower, so he likes to get out of the pocket.
He is working on it.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
He always likes to get out of the pocket, which is gonna defenders are gonna get on top of him quickly, and it's just gonna lead to a lot of injuries in the possible future for Tebow. And Robert Griffin III is just a more skilled and athletic player than most running quarterbacks in the NFL.
I agree with you about the Griffin part. Don't agree with you about the Tebow part. But yeah, Griffin has enough of a throwing ability where he can stay in the pocket more, so he's not going to take as many of those hits that are really dangerous. So what do you think about that, Adam?
Well, I think that Griffin is going to show him the first year that he's not going to get hurt, and then he's going to get his salary bumped up even higher. And if they take it down this year, he's not going to care. They're going to bump it back up next year.
Yeah.
Peter King writes for CNN and political stuff, not sports stuff on ESPN. He's not Sports Illustrated. He just get off the page. Someone else should be writing there. More like maybe me, because I know what I got. I know what I'm doing.
Of course you know what you got.
No one even knows who Peter King is.
He's some old fart from down the street.
Well, so you guys don't like this article, you're not gonna like his mock draft. So let's look at mine.
Well, Peter King ain't the king. You the king. No, you know.
All right. So obviously in the draft, Indy's gonna take Andrew Luck, and Robert Griffin III is going to Washington.
Yeah.
But the next 30 picks are still in question. I think the Minnesota should take Morris Claiborne, but they love Christian Ponder a lot more than they should, and they're going to pick Matt Khalil because they want to protect their precious Christian Ponder from a boatload of sacks all season long.
I definitely agree with that. I mean, Khalil's a good player. Claiborne obviously has more talent, but yeah, they apparently believe in Ponder, so Khalil's still better pick for them.
You got 4.
No, I don't think about that either because Morris Claiborne is just so athletic. He's such a physical corner, and he knows how to read the ball better than anybody else in the game. He's one of the better cornerbacks that I've seen in the draft in the last couple of years. So I think they should stick to guys who are going to become superstars, unlike offensive linemen, which you can get later in the draft. They can turn out just as good as Matt Khalil. So I think it's Morris Claiborne the way to go.
I think Morris Claiborne is kind of like Patrick Peterson, like how we went to LSU and Patrick Peterson went to LSU. I mean, they're both cornerbacks, but I think Morris Claiborne is going to do better in the NFL than Patrick Peterson is.
And that is exactly why Cleveland is going to snap him up at number 4. Cleveland's secondary really isn't that great, especially going up against Ben Roethlisberger and Joe Flacco. 4 games out of their 16 a year, that's 25% of their games. Then Tampa Bay is going to take Trent Richardson because Garrett Blount has really gone below their expectations for him. He's more like a fullback for him. He's really not doing much. I think they really like Trent Richardson, and he's supposed to be the best guy in the draft. And so I think they're gonna pick him. What do you think about that, Adam, Josh? Anything?
Well, I think that Morris Claiborne should stay with the Vikings.
Thank you, thank you.
It's perfect pick for the Vikings. They need someone like with that ability.
They're old at that position.
Yeah,
They're
they
very young.
need someone with that ability because all their guys are old and they're gonna retire soon in that position. They need someone new and fresh that's gonna be there for a while. They do them good.
6 games out of the year, they're playing Matthew Stafford, Aaron Rodgers, and Jay Cutler.
Yeah.
3 of the best in the NFL, too.
Yeah.
Even if he doesn't start, Morris Claiborne might not start this year.
Oh,
but
Claiborne, he'll start.
well, he might, but if he doesn't start,
They don't have
then
anyone
next
at
year
quarterback.
he'll start because everyone else is gonna be tired and old.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But Trent Richardson, I think, should go to Cleveland. Cleveland's going to pick them. They need an identity on offense. Their offense is one of the worst in the league. Their defense is good. Like, their top 10 defense. They need an identity on offense. Someone that's going to bring the fans there. Someone's just going to plow through everybody and keep them locked up at running back for, like, at least the next 5 to 8 years. I think Trent Richardson's that guy. He's just that good. They need him more than anybody else in the draft.
Going back to the whole Cleveland thing, yeah. Right now, their offensive identity is their offensive line. Number one, Richardson could use that. It's a very good offensive line. And number two,
I never heard of anyone on the offensive line.
they have a good offensive line. Their best player is Joe Staley, but
Nobody ever cares about the offensive line.
yeah.
Except the Vikings, because they love
Yes.
Christian Ponder.
So, but right now, Peyton Hillis got cursed last year because he got put on Madden, so he's not going to do anything anymore. So they could really use a running back, and that would help Colt McCoy out too, I think. So I think they're going to go with Richardson at 4. So who do you have at 6?
Alright, I got St. Louis, who got traded back. They're going to be so happy because Justin Blackman's still there. That's just giving a... Sam Bradford's just going to be hopping up and down and cheering hooray because he's got nothing to work with except a guy to hand it off to.
Brandon Lloyd.
Nothing.
Yeah.
I mean,
Brandon Lloyd's not that good.
yeah, exactly. They need somebody, like a big playmaker, like Justin Blackman, to just shape up their offense. Because all they have is Steven Jackson.
And
Really,
he gets injured a lot because he takes a lot of hits.
And
Because
because
he
he,
carries the ball a lot.
he carries the ball so much
Yeah.
because Sam Bradford has no one to throw it to.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about Gems maybe hitting outside of the top 5? I think Michael Floyd out of Notre Dame, he's so athletic, so big, and he's such a possession receiver. He catches it like an average like 10 receptions a game in college, and I think he'll just succeed even more. Regular Pro Bowl guy because he's just that good. As long as he can like maintain his off-field issues, I think he'll be fine.
Where do you have him going, Nathan?
I had actually, I didn't pick him very high because of his off-field issues. Teams don't like that. They don't like to draft people who aren't going to be solid. I think New England is going to give Tom Brady extra help because Randy Moss is already gone.
Yeah.
Wes Welker's getting old. Who's going to be the next generation of receivers to catch passes from Tom Brady?
It's not going to be Michael Floyd because Michael Floyd is too good to drop that far down in the draft. I think he'll be anywhere from
He's like a younger Calvin
10
Johnson.
to 15. He's gonna be good. I know it.
He's nowhere near Calvin Johnson. Calvin Johnson has the hops. He's got they were showing how his arm span was the size of a garage, one-car garage. I don't think Justin Blackman would. No one like that has that.
Who do you got at 7?
All right, I got Jacksonville going after Courtney Upshaw. Jacksonville needs a pass rusher that can get to the quarterback because they don't have anybody. Their secondary is all right, but their defensive line is just flat out terrible.
And when Courtney Upshaw gets to the quarterback, the quarterback's gonna be he's on the ground. Courtney Upshaw is just gonna lose. He's not gonna lose the whole thing.
Yeah.
Courtney Upshaw is a hard worker. He knows a lot about football, and he played with Nick Saban's very pro-style offense. As much as we all hate Nick Saban,
Yes.
Hey, Nick Saban.
we love the players that come out of his program to the NFL because they're so good.
Very good
Alright.
NFL players have
Speaking
most
from
injuries.
Michigan State home over here.
That's right.
Yeah, but I think Courtney Upshaw will be a perfect fit with Jacksonville because Jacksonville needs a pass rusher, just like Nathan said. I think he'll be a good fit. What do you got at 8?
All right, I got the Miami Dolphins drafting Ryan Tannehill. He's getting the same coaches that he had in college, and he's he's got a bigger arm than Andrew Luck, and the Dolphins just need a quarterback. They got pretty good tools around him, but they really don't have a quarterback. Ryan Tannehill.
I don't think Ryan Tannehill is as good as everyone says he is. I mean, I don't get why everybody loves him.
He doesn't have much experience in college football, let alone pro football. So I don't think he succeeds very much. I think Miami does need a quarterback, so they might go after him, but it won't work. He's just not good enough. He's not experienced enough. He hasn't proved like he's clutch enough. He's under-succeeded at Texas A&M in my opinion, and I don't think it'll work in the NFL. He could be a big bust.
But you know what raises his pick so much is he played wide receiver for 3 years. He's going to be really durable if he's taking all those hits. That's why teams, I think, like Miami are going to take him so high, is because his durability. Because there's all this talk about concussions and there's all the precautions that they're taking. They want a quarterback who they feel confident that can last, and I think Ryan Tannehill is one of those guys.
And what they might even be looking at doing is trading back because nobody else really wants him. But I totally agree. He might not do well if he doesn't go to Miami. But if he goes to Miami, he has Joe Philbin, who coached Aaron Rodgers and made Aaron Rodgers who he is today.